When we think of blight and urban vacancy, sometimes we imagine a space devoid of all use and resource. We see a gap or a loss. I would like to challenge that reflex and reimagine vacant and blighted properties as a resource or asset for those living in the neighborhood. As an architecture student at KU and a member of the workshop KCK, I've been tasked to use creative problem solving to address issues that Northeast Wyandotte County faces. My inspiration for this proposal comes from my childhood. I grew up one block east of Troost in Kansas City, Missouri. Our neighborhood was similar to many found in Northeast Wyandotte County, littered with vacant homes and overgrown lots. There was little or no intervention from the city to improve or beautify our neighborhood and streetscape. My father took it upon himself to take us kids out to the overgrown vacant lots in the neighborhood and transplant saplings up and down our street along the road and sidewalks. This is what it looks like nearly 2.5 decades later. As a group, many of us have focused our efforts in and around the neighborhood known as Organization for Community Preservation. When we look at the neighborhood, we find a corridor of vacant lots running east and west along Parallel Parkway and Lafayette Avenue. I am calling this our resource corridor. There is a variety of salvageable building material scattered throughout the corridor. Buried brick sidewalks, rubble-filled lots, local businesses with piles of discarded building materials, dilapidated concrete retaining walls. I found over 100 dumped tires while walking through the corridor. There are multiple sites where unneeded limestone retaining walls stand. All of these resources can be collected and palletized by the neighborhood and made available to its residents in a central location. These collected materials can be used to beautify the neighborhood, as well as DIY infrastructure improvements and general home improvements. Bricks relocated to make needed sidewalks, tires turned into planters or playgrounds, concrete rubble stacked like masonry in a new wall or path. Benches can be created at bus stops or elsewhere by building a wire mesh cage and filling it with stone and topping it with wood. Maple, ash, and oak saplings growing in vacant lots can be transplanted to parks, roadsides, yards, and bus stops. Over time, an open shed could be constructed as a way to store and display these found materials as they become available. I see this as a simple way for neighborhoods like this one to turn inherent negatives of blight on its head and use it as a tool to improve their surroundings.